Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the politicisation of local councils. Now, I'm not talking about the big city councils where, say the mayor of, I don't know, New York, and you've got a population of 10 million or so. I don't mean that, but I mean more the regional county councils, although this could include some of the regional cities too, I guess. But some years ago, a guy that I knew was considering running for the job of mayor of this. It was part of one of the councils of Sydney, and he was considering it, and he said, look, it's just too much aggravation and stress. And he said the pay, it's effectively an honorarium. You have to do the job of mayor because it's a sense of public duty where you're giving to the community, and you're someone who maybe you have certain expertise, administrative expertise, for example. And so it's kind of a part-time job. You're not there all day. And there's say one meeting a week, major decisions once a month, and that sort of stuff. There's like a public service type administrative class that's permanent, and you're just providing the political oversight as mayor or member of the council or the city board or whatever they might call it. So anyway, back at the time, this is when the average wage was probably $30,000, say, at that time, $30,000 per annum. And the mayor's job paid about $22,000, give or take, per annum. And it was 20, low 20s. I remember that distinctly. And he said for that sort of money and for giving up the time that he would need to give up, the meetings would go for, say, 4 hours a week, but he had quite a lot of reading to do, which he reckoned would take him sort of one day out of his weekend. So for say one night and one day of his weekend, he was going to be paid, say, $20,000 a year. He was upper income guy, so he's probably making, say, $100,000 back in the time. So he just thought it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have a sufficient sense of public duty to want to make that commitment to his local community. So that was a sort of pay then. Anyway, there was recently elections in Australia for the local mayor and the council board members and that sort of thing. And I noticed the pay, this is even of a regional, it's not like it's the city of Sydney, which isn't in itself a huge area, but you look at the pay, it was like $225,000 a year. So it's gone up, tenfold, more than tenfold. But the interesting thing is it's now considered to be a full-time job, and the amount of perks and you get a car and a driver, you get a subsidised sort of canteen, so you have to pay for your food. You get every time the council's in recess or on vacation, you get paid lavish. You're not travelling coach class. You're getting lavish international holidays, the supposedly study tours, and so on. So they're all packaged up, with the benefits and the 6-star travel and accommodation. As the local mayor, you'd be getting over $300,000 a year. In Australian terms, at least, you're talking about, give or take, between 5 and 6 times the average wage. So this is no longer just an ordinary gig. So there's a big scramble. The major political parties want to control it, put their buddies and their flunkies and their stooges into these very privileged positions, and but also the councillors, even the lowest level councillor that has no additional duties beyond just having to turn up for the weekly meeting. They've got no duties. They're getting paid like 3 times the average wage, and get access to the benefits like the lavish paid fucking international vacations and holidays under the guise of being study tours and so on. So that's all packaged up. they'd be, in the easily into the 200,000s and easily getting, say, give or take 4 times the average wage. And these aren't high quality, high caliber people. They're just flunky stooges, low IQ goons that are being gifted these positions by the major political parties that are struggling to control these positions on councils. So it's interesting, the change in it, and along with that is the politicisation. Now if these people are being paid a lot of money, then as a ratepayer or taxpayer or local resident in an area, you'd want something back for your money. Why are we paying just a low IQ political hack goon stooge 3 or 6 times the fucking average wage with all sorts of perks, benefits, and side gigs? Why are we paying them that when they're fucking useless? So let's have a little look at that. Now, if I look at, say, the local council, well, almost of any area, but you can pick the area I'm in or another area, but they seem to have a huge struggle getting the potholes in the road fixed. They just can't do it. And when a work crew comes around to do it, they use the lowest quality materials available. It's a half-assed bullshit job. As soon as it rains, the potholes reappear even more menacingly than they were previously. So now you can see the difference between potholes that were fixed in years gone by. They're still good. The fix is still good today. They really stand up to the cars, trucks, buses, and whatever else going over them. But the recently fixed ones are done so badly. Again, low quality workmanship, low quality materials, half-assed work, and they're just as bad as they were. So really, again, if there's a bit of rain a week or so later, the pothole's back again. So nothing's been achieved. So it's a false economy to do it cheap in the first time when you've only got to come back a few weeks later. You've got to wonder whether it's some arranged scam or gig that they got going on. But they're constantly crying they don't have enough money to do it. We got enough money. We can't afford to do it. We can't afford to do it. But the council can afford vast departments of diversity, equity, inclusion officers, affirmative action officers, specialist gay, lesbian, trans counsellors for staff that want to become trans, special meditation rooms for black lesbians, special employment programs for trans people with Asperger's who are also not white. I mean, the list goes on of the programs, hugely expensive. I mean, massive departments of affirmative action and diversity directors are paid very, very, very well, by the way. Yes, it's not unusual to see in a council the director of diversity hiring who's paid 6 or even 7 times the average wage, and again, low IQ stooge flunkies being appointed. So the council's got vast budgets when it comes to LGBTQ issues, printing up all sorts of stuff, endless. They've got vast resources when it comes to violence against the family violence thing. They've got vast resources for that. They've got vast resources for putting in lesbian painting classes. They've got vast resources for all sorts of things. Any company that wants to bid on council contracts, whether it be building or anything at all, has to show that they've got lots of black lesbians on staff and so on. They've got endless resources to look at all those sorts of things. Special units that investigate whether there is racism on the beach or I mean, it goes on and on and on. Special units to make sure that lifeguards at the beach or the swimming pools are equal, have exact equality in terms of race and gender. I mean, it's just fucking unreal. So they got money and resources for all of those things and lots of it. But they've got no money for fixing the potholes or the infrastructure or doing things that need to be done. There are sea walls that are crumbling under erosion. That they got no money for that. That has to be volunteers have to do that. we can't afford it. The council's got no money, and on it goes. So civic-minded citizens are being called on more and more to do the real work, such as retaining seawalls and reclamation of land that's been denuded. All the civic-minded people, more and more is being pushed on them. But the resources that were once spent on things that everybody would benefit from are increasingly being spent on boutique matters, such as the mental health of black lesbians or trans people. So it's going on the cool, socially divisive programs that the globalists are pushing on us. Social division, race division, gender division, division through LGBTQ issues and so on. There, the council has endless resources. So we're paying a lot of money, really, for a bunch of race hustler, two-bit grifters to destroy our society and our local community, whilst they have no money for the real things that matter. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.